Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're back with the Sunday morning countdown. We'll ride with you all the way to lock, but probably an hour and a half or so. Going to start things off. I haven't done these for the past couple weeks as I like to watch the London games, but I think we are done with the London games or something like that. So, crap. I'll be right back. I need to grab one thing. Or do I? Is it here? All right, electric open. Going live and leaving. Oh, we're back. So yes, we're gonna start things. Always like to start these with me checking my high stakes teams because gotta set my lineups anyways. I have 3 main events this year on FFPC. 2 of them are fully in the mix. Despite 3 and 4 records, we're more going for the total points. One of them is, it's probably dead. It's 100 points back, though, so you never know. So let's check the roster here. This is the one I did with my bro Tolan. Went to college with. It's a pretty sick team. He's got a huge amount of depth, too. Thank you, babe. And we have 3 quarterbacks for now. Caleb, Dak, May. I think we're going to cut May, but we're just holding him for now. Kyron and Bijan are running backs. He really didn't want to go Kyron, but it's looking like a smash. And then it's tight and premium if you wonder why we have Kincaid and Ferguson in the lineup. But we got Reed, Brian Thomas, DJ Moore. And then our depth is pretty nice. We got Shakir. Someone dropped Keon Coleman last week, so we picked him up. We got DeAndre Hopkins, who's a Chief now. We got double defenses. We're preparing for the sprint. Alexander Madison, our RB3, and some depth here. So I don't think we'll change anything. Could maybe play Shakir over one of the tight ends. Same thing with Hopkins and Coleman, but that team seems fine. This is the team I made with Ron and Jacob. We're missing Nico there. Got a lot of depth on this one, too. I don't think there's anything to set for this one, though. 2v2 for DFS cash. Jamar Chase in the Falcons D or London in the Broncos D. Eric, I think I would go Jamar Chase for that. Paying up for defense is typically something you would do more like in a tournament setting. If, let's say, Chase is going to be 20% owned and Drake London is going to be 15%, but the Broncos D is only going to be 5% just because people aren't paying up. That's more when you would pay up for the Broncos D. I get it, though, right? Like if the Broncos D goes for 20 and Chase and London score similar, you're going to regret it. This is our main event team that's probably dead. Cooper Kupp's back, so that's nice. T. Higgins, I guess we're going to have to bench him. I don't know if he's going to play this week. Like, this is a 0 RB team where the running backs actually are kind of fine with, like, Rico and Moss averaging 10 points per game. That's pretty nice when you build pure 0 RB. We just didn't get the wide receiver firepower that we thought we were drafting. So if T is on the bench, I guess I'm just gonna put Rome Odunze in there for now, and we'll swap him back if we get positive news there. How would you rank Jalen Waddle, Terry, Moore, and Marvin? I think I don't know. I think I'm gonna talk to Tolan, but I like the idea of benching T. It's something where you really just need to listen to the broadcasts because they do drop some gems. These are my RT sports teams. 3 teams at 5-2, a 4-3, a 3-4, and a 2-5. Let's check out our lineups here. This is the worst team. It's a Hertz double stack. I mean, it should be pretty good. So I guess the question is Jake Ferguson or Cole Kmet at tight end. Toss up. Rico Dowdle. Nope. Really no one to push him. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, Flowers definitely playable. I think Olave's playable, but it's risky, right? We don't know much about. I'm blanking on the Saints quarterback, but like we don't. It's hard to evaluate him because he hasn't had any of his weapons. But yeah, if he's gonna give Olave like a 40% target share, he's playable. Need to start 2 of 3 between Adunze, Bateman, Pearsall. Yeah, I think definitely Adunze. And if Flowers misses Bateman, if not Pearsall, for me. Next over Anthony Richardson. No, I would play Anthony Richardson. And pick 2 from Hopkins, Tracy Dowdle. Who did the Giants play? They're not on the main slate. I don't think. What do they play on Monday night or something? They play the Steelers tomorrow. I think I would go. Like I kind of like Hopkins this week. It's not the exact same thing as Juju Smith-Schuster walking in and getting 10 targets because Juju had familiarity with the team. But I just think the Chiefs are a team that can get Hopkins up to speed kind of quickly. They don't really have an alternative other than Xavier Worthy getting like infinite targets. So I kind of like going Richardson and then Hopkins and really just pick either running back that you'd prefer. I don't think so. Jaden is a must play if he starts right. Like I have Jaden in some leagues, and I don't think I'm gonna play him. Number 1, Bears D, very legit. Number 2, my intuition is that they're going to give Brian Robinson Jr. a huge rushing workload. Number 3, I think he has the same injury that Justin Herbert had. And remember, we've not seen Justin Herbert run at all this year. So this could be like statue Jaden Daniels, you know? This team, I lost Brandon Ayuk for. Is Jordan Mason's like questionable, right? Practiced in full on Friday. He'll be fine. So Josh Allen, Brian Robinson, Mason, Higgins. Yeah, I might need the bench. Like, let's bench Higgins for now. Oh my God, I don't even have an alternative though. Well, let's put Worthy in the wide receiver spot. Yeah. Yikes. Okay, I don't think I can bench Higgins in this league. Because, like, I'm not benching him for Mike Williams. I'm not benching him for Kendrick Bourne. I'm not benching him for, like, maybe I'd bench him for Zach Charbonnet. I'm not benching him for Likely. Like, unless it's, like, Higgins is inactive, he's playing for this team. So this team I think I can move on for. Yeah, I mean, I think you gotta play him if he's active, but if you have good alternatives for Debo, I get it. Tyreek in a DFS smash spot. Friday practice foot injury scary in DFS. I mean, I won't lie. Yeah, late week injuries are not great, but it seems, I don't know, it kind of seems gamemanshipy by them. Like Eric says, Tyreek is underpriced in DFS. If he plays, I'm basically locking him. And I think that's fair. It's just that, like, I pretty much agree. If Tyreek plays a full game, you could probably just count him for 30 in your lineup. However, it's the NFL, right? Last week, we saw Brandon Ayuk tears ACL to start a game. We saw Deebo Samuel get pneumonia. God, I can't fucking say that word. Pneumonia. There we go. Mamone, not gnome. Pneumonia. Um, in his lungs and being active. Jordan Whittington was like basically didn't play. And so whatever, Tyreek rolls an ankle out there, or Jalen Waddle catches an 80-yard bomb repeatedly, or Devon Achane keeps on getting it. Or like one way Tyreek fails is just like the Cardinals, not that likely, but they just go on like 8-minute drives repeatedly. And the Dolphins have a couple 3-and-outs. Yeah, geez. The chat's having to help me out with the phonetics over here. But I think it's totally fair to lock him. I would not play JSN today if you have another option. Bills defense, they have an all-pro slot corner. JSN, not very good. No DK Metcalf. Seattle's either missing their left tackle or their right tackle. And the Bills are without their top 2 linebackers. So all of that kind of makes it more of a Ken Walker game for me. Let me finish getting through these lineups and get to some questions. Lamar, Dobbins, Mason, Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, Kelsey, Chase Brown, Adunze, Nico, Juwan Jennings, Leggett, McMillan, Christian Watson. Yeah, I guess like Chase Brown or McMillan. Like, yeah, I mean, I could play some of these guys. Tucker Kraft or Chase Brown. It's honestly kind of close. Like Tucker Kraft, he doesn't have huge target totals, but he continues to run the most routes on the Packers. So, like, he's kind of a defensible play. This is not tight end premium, it's just PPR. But he's kind of a defensible play over Rome or Chase. But I don't know. I think I'll just roll with this gang. I'd rather play Caleb than Daniels with the questions, Donk. Half point PPR, Adunze, Christian Kirk, McMillan's. I'd probably do Adunze, James. Hope you get the post buy bump from both ends, from Caleb and him. Yeah, I think Achane's a strong pivot off Hill. Brian Thomas or Javonte. What are you talking about, Clink? If you're talking about managed, you probably do Javonte. But DFS-wise, I'd prefer Brian Thomas. I just don't like Javonte. Even in his smash game, he only got 14 rushing attempts. So, I don't know, man. It's really hard for me to bench Brian Thomas. But if you drafted Javonte, like, you drafted him for this game. I know. Kincaid mispriced on FanDuel. I think that makes Kincaid an even better play on DFS. Number one, weird price range. Number two, he's going to be like 2% owned. It's kind of a windy game, so maybe some more underneath targets to him. And when he's 4K on FanDuel and like 5K on DF and DraftKings, people that play volume are just going to get their Kincaid exposure on FanDuel probably. Half point PPR, flex, Pickens, Tank Dell, Pollard, or Chase Brown. Titans play Detroit. It's either Dell or Pickens for me. Probably Tank Dell for me, though. I think you wait 1 week, Ian, for Whittington. He is droppable soon, but I think you wait and suss it out unless there's like, if there's someone appealing on the waiver wire, drop him. But number one, Cooper Kupp could still be traded. Number two, either of them could be hurt at either time, And number three, we don't know if he was healthy, if he would have played over Demarcus Robinson. If T is out, should I go Christian Watson or Jalen Warren? Pretty much a coin flip there. Simply, I think Watson has the higher ceiling, Warren the higher floor. This is very close, Clink. I really like Tucker Kraft, though. Smash matchup. This lineup, Herbert, Pollard, Mason, Chase, DJ Moore, Kittle, Rashad White, Tank Dell, Myers, Bears, D. We got Nico on the bench here. So yeah, I have Herbert in over Daniels. And I'll probably, I don't know, I think this team's 5-2. I'll probably just leave it that way. This team's super deep, right? Like, instead of Rashad White, I could play Rome, Khalil Shakir, Tucker Kraft, Isaiah Likely, Rico. But I think that starting lineup's fine for now. Burrow, Achane, Bijan, Flowers, Reed, Kincaid, McConkey, Worthy, Young Ho Koo, Old Ho Lame, New York Jets, Drake May, Kendrick Bourne, Leggett. Yeah, bench sucks here, but good starting team. Lamar, Achane, Gibbs, Flowers, Brian Thomas, Mark Andrews, Khalil Shakir, Jordan Mason, Chase McLaughlin, Chargers D. Yeah, I need to do some work on this bench, but seems like those teams are set there. Didn't mean to close my browser. Is Pop Douglas a smash? I don't think he's a smash man. Like, kind of hard to say any Patriot is a smash. I do think, like if we're talking like the Millie Maker, I think it's tempting. I guess let's check my ESPN league just before we get into the underdog drafts. I've been pretty busy this week, so I haven't done any drafts. By the way, I sent one tweet about Derrick Henry, and I didn't even mean it as an attack at Derrick Henry. And for the Derrick Henry people are some of the most sensitive people in the world. Like, it sent off like a firestorm of people like quote tweeting my advance rates or something, being like, "This is cope." I didn't even mean it like that. Someone dropped Anthony Richardson in my home league. Seems pretty nice for a 14-team league. I guess Christian Kirk or Dontavian Wicks, who also I picked up off waivers this week, is a question. I think I'll just roll with the double Jags. Is Worthy to Megamind today? I really don't think so, Chad. I think he's totally defensible, and the angle you play, what you tell yourself is that, the Raiders talking trash about Mahomes, bringing the Kermit doll, all that nonsense, like that awakes a beast. And you tell yourself that like Hopkins draws some middle of the field coverage, opening the deep end for Worthy. So I think Worthy's a pretty strong play. The Kate Otten chalk, if you're playing volume, you definitely should eat it in some lineups. It is a good matchup. It is a good price. We have been seeing the chalk tight end smash, but in the long run, right? Like, don't just focus on this slate. Focus on the long run. Um, Fading a tight end that is going to be 35 to 40% owned in small field and simply playing someone different is going to be a better game theory move. So Grant Calcaterra, paying up, all pretty appealing. And you gave the other chalkier tight end, which is David Njoku. What do you make of McConkey's hip injury? Honestly, I was worried, but he played a full complement of snaps, so I think it's whatever. It's like, hey, he's banged up. Let's grab Brees. Kind of surprised he's not the 101. Yeah, I think Brooks will play, but we'll see. You can tweet anything, people get pissed no matter what. That's fair. I mean, it's very hard to have a nuanced discussion on Twitter, right? And I mean, mental health is low, especially like every year around October, people have been gambling, they've been losing, whatever. Seasonal depression, all that comes together. Bowers against Chiefs or Komet against Commanders? I mean, if this is managed, slam dunk Bowers. Bills are a super easy fade this week with the weather right now. For me, no, because that like anything like that is just going to give you lower ownership. So Buffalo, Seattle, the only weather game kind of periodic bands of heavy rain. At times will be dry. Winds will pick up as the bands move through. Sustained 10 to 15 with gusts over 25. So that would matter for some teams. However, Josh Allen isn't your regular quarterback. There are two quarterbacks that can no doubt pass in the wind because I've seen it time and time again. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Will their teams always pass in the wind? That's closer to say. The other thing I would say is I'm not as familiar with Seattle's stadium layout, but the current Bill Stadium is built so that the wind is actually insane at the field level. So it might be like 25 mile per hour winds, but gusts will be like 50 at the field level. And so it's very common to see teams legit not throw. And guess who's throwing? Josh Allen. If you remember the biggest weather game of all time, which was let's do it. Which was the Bills versus the Patriots game a couple years ago. Sure, big dog. Josh Allen was throwing in that game. They didn't start it. Like the coaches started being like, okay, let's establish the run. But then once they got the wind at their back, they were throwing, and that game was like almost tornado. So no, I'm not really worried about the wind. Could the Bills be super run heavy and it all fails and it's like a disappointing environment? Yes. But I'm not like swapping off of Bills pieces because of weather. Shakir, I mean, I think Shakir's in play every week, man. He's averaging 13 points per week. It is like, so, I mean, yeah, it's going to be a little hard to peg down because if Amari Cooper catches a 40-yard ball, that inherently means there's less dinking and dunking to Shakir to move down the field. But when Amari Cooper doesn't, Shakir should be more involved. Same thing with Keon Coleman. Like Keon Coleman has some yards after catch ability. So he could, when he catches a 5-yard slant and scores, Shakir doesn't get to touch the ball. But I mean, Shakir's going to be 2% owned, so I think he's a strong DFS play. It wasn't even that most Henry teams likely stink. That was not the point of the tweet. It was that Henry drafters had a type. And for some reason, Derrick Henry himself was triggering. Nico Collins drafters on the aggregate had a type as well. And guys, Derrick Henry drafters has a type does not mean every single Derrick Henry drafter drafts the same. You should be happy, as I laid out in my best ball stream, if you're one of the Derrick Henry drafters who was also drafting guys like Brian Thomas Jr. instead of Calvin Ridley, because you're inherently building different Derrick Henry teams than the group, right? So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what this means. One, by the way, one of these is a battle royale. One of these is the dog bowl. Let's do. Let's get the band back together. Stephon Diggs and let's grab DeAndre Swift. Dowdle or Cedric Tillman. I forgot to mention Tillman in my DFS article. I really like him though. I think it's tough to play him over Dowdle because Dowdle's going to get screens and such. But I would I don't know. I kind of want to IKB it. Am I going to be at the dog bowl even if you don't qualify? Definitely not. No. I'm not going to just be there. I mean, if Underdog wanted to like fly me out for some reason, sure, maybe. I think I would have to like move some schedules around in my life though if I even qualify for the dog bowl. Yeah, I barely drafted this week and last week, so 6-point passing touchdowns, Richardson, May, or Jameis. Even with the 6 points, Ben, I like Richardson. Might as well stack Josh Allen. The two big dogs, Josh and Derrick Henry. So I double scrolled down here where Kincaid being barely drafted, and Swift being barely drafted. Shout out David Kitchen. I like Dave. Very funny guy. Tomorrow I'm going to have a stream with Pete. We're going to catch up, talk some best ball. Rome for me. Hell yeah, Brian. Let's win some tournaments. Tank Dell or Hunter Henry and FFPC. That's close, Daniel. I would play Tank, though. A little bit squeaky wheel. I think we'll just, while I'm on, I might as well just have one Battle Royale going, one Dog Bowl going. Thank God for the phone, huh? If you couldn't join on your phone, these drafts would not fill. Mitch McCurd. Got my chest shirt on. Pretty swaggy shirt, right? Played a chess tournament yesterday. Tied for first. Shout out me. If you missed my DFS article, I'll link it here. The only thing I forgot about was Cedric Tillman. I would have put him as one of the punt options. But yeah, the real things to think through here are, like the Miami chalk, the Bucks chalk, and then maybe you want to just avoid it totally. And simply build a balanced roster, right? Like every single week, any week that starts in scrubs is going to be dominant. Building balanced will be unique. Any week where balance is going to be dominant, stars and scrubs will be unique. It's a battle royale. This is like not good probably, but I don't see many people doing it. So, hey, anything unique is a little good. Cut off the sleeves. Dude, I'm not cutting this off at the sleeves. Live chess tournament in person. Hey. Locks and cash, Brees, Tillman, Ken Walker, Bucks, cheap wide receiver. I don't think Tillman is much of a... okay, we got a draft here. Kind of crazy. Marvin Harrison Jr. sticks out amongst this group. Feeling on Devonta Smith, totally playable. When I play blitz chess, I'll talk trash. Obviously a lot of chess people, some of them are a little neurotic, but someone like me, I'm throwing, I can talk trash, friendly trash. What's up, Action Jackson? Awesome name. Locks and cash. So yeah, Brees is a lock and cash. I think Tua is the cash game quarterback. Tyreek's a lock and cash. Let's do Kraft this time. Yeah, so Tyreek. You probably you play Tyreek and Achane, and maybe Waddle and cash too. It's kind of crazy, but I think you could legit roll out a cash lineup with like Tua, Tyreek, Achane, Waddle, Brees, Joe Mixon, cheap punt wide receiver of your choice, Cade Otton or David Njoku, Bears D, or pay up D. Let's go Mr. Bowers and Senor Reed. Devontae over Brees for leverage. Yeah, Devontae over Brees is definitely good leverage. The similar to the Bills, if we look at the pass rate over expectation chart, thanks to Chris here from Fantasy Points, the Jets posted, I think, their highest week of pass rate over expectation at plus 10%. So it's totally logical to me that the Jets, they've kind of struggled all year. They're not a playoff team right now. They might want to get their pass game going once the game's out of hand. Some like more GPP running backs, I think like Saquon, probably going to be lower owned, just more expensive. Derrick Henry, probably going to be lower owned, more expensive. I'm not really interested in the Kareem Hunt chalk. It's like, dude, Kareem Hunt is burying me in the Lord of 2024. Just bring the comet. End me now. I'm not going to play the Javonte Williams chalk, famous last words, but I'm not. I like Swift. I like Achane. I like James Conner. I would like Cook if I knew what was going on there, but I don't. I like Rashad White. I like Brian Robinson. I like Bijan. Might not get there, but I think he's a good play. Easily Jordan Mason. How you beat the Cowboys is legit with the running back, so. Well, we're going to have to make up a stack here, huh? Let's go Mahomes and Worthy. No, I drafted no Juwan Jennings because, I mean, drafting Juwan Jennings required, like, I don't think it was really that good of a pick going into the year. Similar to like how Isaiah Likely was a good result, but I didn't think he was a good pick last year because it just required a lot of injuries and he's shown nothing. Is he a good pick now? Yes, but it required Ricky Pearsall getting shot, probably. It required Brandon Ayuk getting hurt or Debo getting hurt, right? So I got no Juwan Jennings. I do have Cedric Tillman, though. My best Cedric Tillman team. I have him 3 times in Best Ball Mania, so probably more elsewhere. But this is my advancing Cedric Tillman team. It's got some Miami correlation with Achane and Jerome Ford. What do we need here? Let's do a double with Josh with Shakir. Bijan. Dude, I have a streak going for weeks. Thank you for telling me this, because we're going to do this live. Let's get Gibson here too. I have a streak going. How do I find it? And this is what we did with Davis. Davis tanking us with the Jefferson touchdown. But I've had this going for probably like 3 weeks, and I just keep forgetting. How do I make my pick on it? I don't know. I know how to do it on the phone. I really like the streak ones. I kind of want to volume them. I don't know. It just seems pretty beatable, like choosing your highest conviction guys of the week. All right, I'm going to do the streak live here. Yeah, on your phone, there's this button called Track, which you can, like, it lets you add picks to your streak on the track. Are teams down by 100 points or more on Underdog dead? Definitely not. Okay, so what are my streak plays going to be? Let's see if we're getting any discounts. I wonder if Cooper dropped with the weather report. He did by about 3 yards. What's Achane at? He dropped by about 4 yards. Kind of surprising. What's Richardson rushing prop? 36.5 rushing yards. Um, hmm. What's Jamar Chase at? 85.5. Hmm. I'm thinking about a JSN under. I'm thinking about a Cooper over. I'm thinking about a Kincaid over. I wonder what the Josh Allen fantasy points one is. Are we getting a discount because of the wind? 20.9 fantasy points for Josh. Let's go higher Josh. 20.9 fantasy points. And I think you have to add 2, right? Or is it just 1? Well, let's do 2. Let's do Achane rushing yards. Oh, you can only add 1 at a time. All right. So I added Josh Allen higher than 20.9 fantasy points. You do 2 to start, and then I guess it's 1 at a time. I wish I could add more than 1. Yeah, I mean, Josh, like, as long as the running backs don't get everything, seems pretty nice. All right, let's grab Garrett Wilson. Okay, makes sense. Well, I did Josh Allen's a 4 p.m. game, so maybe I should have done Achane rushing yards first, and then I could have gotten in the Josh Allen one too. Yeah, I like Laporta. I do think he is, and I think a lot of people are scared off. Like they don't want to take the leap of faith based on his past box scores. And let's grab Tank. I'm like going into the year. If I could have told you in a dog bowl draft, which is 12-man drafts, like you could get Bijan and Gibbs, 2 first-round running backs, Garrett Wilson, a first-round wide receiver, and Tank Dell, a third-round wide receiver, like pretty effing sick. I'm gonna go get a second coffee. All right, sorry about that, guys. Any hope for Jalen Warren this year? Yeah, definitely, man. Like Jalen Warren injured preseason, finally healthy, gets hurt again, been playing through it. Like there was a lot of time for him to still make his mark. Is he? It's are you disappointed based on what he's done so far? Sure, but he could get healthy at any time. Najee could not get healthy, right? Some of the other guys that have been smashing could get injured or, just slightly injured and still be playing through it like he is and be inefficient. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. We need the Kincaid week. Hey, man, entertainment is the name of the game, and Davis is knowledgeable, right? Davis has got skin in the game. You might not agree with every take of him. You shouldn't agree with every take of me either, or someone else. Russ helps Warren also, definitely. Rank these tight ends for this week. Ingram, Kraft, Ott, and Fant. 101. Let's just do Chase in this one. So, yeah, I think Pete and I are going to have a stream tomorrow at like 4 p.m. Eastern. Al showing fear of the Saquon. Help me out, guys. I only need like 60 or so people to get to 6K. Pretty nice team. Stroud, Tank, Kraft, Wilson, Gibbs, Bijan. Yeah, I like that team. I had the Bears winning. Not playing any Lamar, so got to get my Lamar exposure. Let's do the Walker Allen correlation. Hey, Brian's right, guys. A like doesn't cost you anything. Pepper Tony, if I knew we were getting the James Cook workload from early in the year, I would feel pretty good about it. My concern is since then, Ray Davis is semi-breaked out. And last week, Ray Davis was on the injury report. He's going to be another week healthier this week. So Yeah, could Cook be the blow up spot at very low ownership? Absolutely, he could. But I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling the Bills passing game more. Could be wrong. And, again, like it could be. Let me do this. Let's see if it will let me. Give me Josh Allen. What are we in the dog bowl here? Gibbs. Um, yeah, like you could just easily see Cook getting, 10 points, but Ray Davis steals a touchdown. I don't think this is a hot take, Daniel. I think that, no offense to you, but I think this is some of the more casual crowd, some of the group who it's more of like a what have you done for me lately thinks Tank Dell's not very good. And sure, when a guy gets shot and then breaks his leg, they don't appear as good. If you just go back to last year, he was an equal to Nico Collins when they were on the field, if not better, before injury. So that's my original stance. I know that guy still exists. Is he that guy today because of the injuries? Maybe not. But just like how we saw Chris Godwin take some time to recover from injury, I know that is Tank Dell. So a healthy Tank Dell is one of the best wide receivers in football, period. This is the Battle Royale. Yeah, like Kareem Hunt going over H-Han is just like, that's a nah for me, dog. So Josh Allen, Walker, H-Han, Chase, DJ Moore, Kincaid at your tight end. Feels pretty nice. Get those questions in, ladies and gents. I don't know how much longer I'm going live. Probably call it at 10:30 or so. Gotta get some food in me for a great day of football. I typically watch the Bills game when they are on the slate. So I like that they're playing in the afternoon so I can just watch Red Zone for the morning. Let's see the latest on T. Higgins. Team will make a final decision next hour, but T. Higgins has an uphill battle to play. Okay. Travis Etienne, a long shot. So take Bigsby. James Daniels is going to play, which is just kind of crazy to me. Ooh, Nico Collins on track to return soon. Bo Nix or Tua and managed? I would play Tua. Why isn't Tua wearing the Guardian helmet? I mean, I think being a quarterback, I think the Guardian helmet, covers your ear holes and shit. And also it could be, some quack science that the NFL is pretending with. But, yeah, I think as a quarterback, it probably just, wigs you out a little bit, you know? If you're feeling, unstable, you don't want oh, God. This did not update correctly. All right, we caught it. Let's go Saquon. Give me Brian Thomas. Bears or Texans, D? Bears for me, but it's close. I mean, Josh Palmer maybe, but not Tim Patrick. Hey, I mean, half the country loves quack science, so. Be sure to vote, guys. November 5th is coming up. You can't complain about stuff if you don't vote. Let's do Joe Mixon this time. How many drafts have I done? 4 dog bowls, 3 battle royales. Daniel Hopkins. Might have overlay in the main battle royale. I do and don't hope that. Let's check it out. Battle royale, 65% filled. Dog bowl, 90%. You know, if I get overlays, they might not do 50K to first anymore. Is Judy a smash today? I don't think Jerry Judy is ever a smash. Is he playable? Yes. Healthy Anthony Richardson or banged up Daniels? Pretty easily Richardson for me. You know, could Jaden Daniels play and drop 40? Sure, but I just don't really see the need to risk it. Yeah. I knew I couldn't take another running back, but I wanted to. Kind of surprised the market's so into Cooper. Like over guys like Brian Thomas, Waddle. I would love to see Bills Lions. The Bills might struggle because, you know, their weakness is defending the run, and that's the Lions' strength. But it would just be fun. Detroit and Buffalo, 2 cities that could use a W. Yeah, I get that to 300. Probably just should do more battle royales though if it's going to overlay. Whatever. Yeah, like I mean, Flowers clearly not at full health. He played through the injury last week, but he was like kind of a decoy. He could be a decoy again, but whatever. No, I don't think Jameis is a bad play in DFS at cost. You like Swift on underdog? I do. Taylor Swift, I assume you mean. Just kidding. Yeah, if Jameis is gonna be mega chalk, I might prefer like Anthony Richardson for 600 more, and just don't even stack them. Just stack a different game. I mean, this is some mega mind shit. Taking Zach Ertz instead of these options. Yep, Ravens dealing with a lot of injuries, as Brendan notes. Trades Tyreek for Swift and Brian Thomas Jr. I think you could have gotten another player maybe, but I mean, you did get two quality players. So if you needed the depth, it's fine. Yes, I did, Daniel. And it overlaid some. All right, this will be my last draft. Yeah, I think one Packers wide receiver for sure will have a good day today. It's hard to nail which one. So our 1 p.m. slate, key games to watch: Cardinals, Dolphins, Ravens, Browns going to have some chalk. Eagles, Bengals. Hopefully we get a good one there. Packers, Jags, Bucks, chalk, and Falcons. Maybe low on Richardson. And then it's really only like the Bills Seahawks game that might be chalky. I guess pieces of the Broncos, Kareem Hunt, chalk, some Bears pieces. Yeah, second round pick Javonte Williams, not for me. Like this seems wrong. People drafting Bo Nix and Jameis instead. Like I don't think Jameis isn't going to be chalk because Bo Nix is the chalk. Chalk Bo Nix just doesn't seem it for me. Got to play double tight ends. National Tight End Day. Heard it here first. Remember that one year, National Tight End Day? Like actually, every tight end did explode. Teams do listen to those narratives a little bit, you know? I guess I'm going to do Kyler with Trey. Pretty sick team here for 12-man draft. From your lips to God's ears, 3 touchdowns. Full point PPR got Reed, Thomas Jr., Smith, and Marv Jr. for wide receiver pick 2. Reed, and then either Thomas Jr. or Smith, flip a coin. Yeah, I guess we'll do Kyler. We got Trey McBride. Why not? The reason why I like Richardson is last week he saw 14 rushing attempts. All right, ladies and gents, good luck to you. Good luck to me. Good luck to us. Let's have a great Sunday. Spend times with your family before football gets going here. Or don't. Do what you want. Get some food. Get some water in you. See you tomorrow. Peace.